Trigger warning. The worst games I've played in 2023 are competitive shooters. All of them. I played my fair share of bad games all my life, and I've seen atrocities that were released this year. But when referring to my Rotten Tomatoes score, I'd rather take bad games than those that make me feel numb. And shooters, at best, are monotonous. I have many different reasons that could be boiled down into 3 big ones. 1. The community. How I feel about the entire gaming community is that underneath the hemisphere, there are several different communities that make up part of it, such as single-player games, RPGs, MMOs, action games, and more. But shooters are different. The way I see it, shooters are outside that sphere, loosely connected to it. The community is so big that it could just form its own bubble. When a person wants to get into games for the first time, what's the first one people are most likely going to recommend? Valorant, right? It's free to play, and you get to play with 4 other people. But when people do get into these games, they're probably only aware of other games similar to the first one they were introduced to. Look, it's okay to say your favorite game is CSGO, because that's the first game you fell in love with, right? And that's awesome. But don't try and tell me that all games suck now because that one shooter you play is flopping. Seriously, take a shot every time you go on Twitter and see an FPS streamer go, "Man, gaming today sucks." In this year where there's an amazing game for nearly every type of genre, how on earth are you going to make that claim? Seriously, I'm encouraging you guys. Play more games. 2. Playing the games themselves. There was a time when I used to enjoy these games, but alas, these games become less fun the more I play, especially when I touch their rank modes. God forbid you make one tiny mistake in these games because you'd have other people throw racial slurs or tell you to kill yourself. You guys remember when games were supposed to be fun? Well, with the introduction of esports and content creators showcasing their awesome plays, everybody wants to be on that level. And unfortunately, that's when you stop playing for fun and start playing for clout. When I enter a match, I have to flip a coin. Am I going to have fun or not? At worst, I feel miserable. But at best, if I actually do perform well, I feel nothing. Anyone who knows me personally can attest to how recently I sound unenthusiastic whenever I get an ace in Valorant. Here's what they had to say.
Raymond's great with his hands, bro. Like, the way he moves it.
Raymond is so good with it.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go through each game and say one quick thing about them. Valorant. This one breaks my heart the most. Once upon a time, I put a lot of time and passion into this game. I even had Google Docs of solo lineups. But alas, those random racist teammates discouraged me from even touching Spike Rush. CSGO, literally Valorant, polished but more boring and repetitive. I didn't even bother updating to CS2 because I know it's the exact same game but prettier. Overwatch 2, how do you release a sequel to a game and somehow make it worse? There were several issues in the first game, but instead of fixing them, Blizzard somehow managed to add new ones. Also, let's be real, the only reason they added the 2 in the first place was to justify its new PvE story mode, which is now scrapped in favor of more paid content. Yay! Warzone, this game is dog shit. Apex Legends, I really wanted to like this game, but it just never clicked with me. I think the last match I ever played was when I was with 2 friends that were cracked at the game. Before the match started, I said, here's what's gonna happen in the game. You guys are gonna get like 5 to 10 kills, probably like a few K damage, and I'm gonna sit here and just do this Bloodhound scan. And you guys do all the work. And that's exactly what happened. Okay, he died. Alright.
I literally just pushed W and everything.
I told you it was just gonna be one scan for me. You guys are gonna do the work. The most unsatisfying W I ever got. See, you know, I don't actually have that many problems with this game. I think I just got bored of it. Fortnite. I actually haven't played this since the time frame before Ninja played with Drake, and I couldn't get into it then. Much time has passed, and I acknowledge it's definitely in a good state, seeing how they have a 0 build mode and lots of crossovers. That being said, having skins of my favorite characters isn't going to make me enjoy the game anymore. Wait, what? This isn't a shooter, but all of my feelings can be applied to this game as well. There's for sure more that I haven't even mentioned, and there are genuine exceptions to these, but even they can't keep me interested long enough for me to recommend them, which leads into my final point. 3. I grew up. When I was younger, I used to have plenty of time on my hands, and I would spend them on these games. But the older I got, the more responsibilities I had to balance. So now I divide my free time wisely. Not only that, my tastes have changed. I started valuing single-player story-based games because I'm guaranteed some kind of experience to remember. I also enjoy co-op games when it's just me and the homies facing some AI entity together. I could even dive into genres outside of my comfort zone to try something new. I don't have to enjoy them, but at least I can tell people that I tried. I know nobody really asked for my opinion on this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I quit competitive shooters permanently. If it gets to the point that I feel apathy at best, then it's a sign that I gotta move on. Somebody once asked me what I would do to change them so I could enjoy them again. The truth is, you can't. Live service games have to constantly change in order to keep its player base. Problem is, it gets to a point where I have to start treating them as a second job just to keep up. Ultimately, it's just not worth it for me to be stressed about something that really doesn't impact my life in any way. So, does this mean I'm telling all of you guys to quit shooters? No, not at all. This is all just my personal grudge, and I can't stress enough that if you like these games, then keep playing them. But I can't in good faith review these games because I have nothing nice to say. This will be the last time I ever speak about this subject, and to end this rant on a lighter note, here's a clip of a time when I did have fun.
We're gonna keep this right here. Do they have a...
There's a mute jammer in there.
That's right, Nick.
Where?
Just throw it on the wall. Just throw it on the wall. Do a second floor. Oh. Kill your thing. No.
Here we go.
All the... Throw it again.
Do it at the window.
Throw it at the door. Do it at the garage.
You said second floor.
At the floor then. There's a guy in there. I meant he'll watch the second floor. Yeah, but you guys said second floor.
No, we didn't say no, we said second floor.
Wait, okay, Rinkers.